Hey, happy Friday, everybody. So, I figured for a little change of pace, since I've been emoting so much, I'll do something a little more practical. Gonna take you around with me on a few of my regular checks I have to do on this rig. Vintage truck, there's no sensors, no computers keeping track of jack shit. It's all in here. I really need to get to work on that manual for my kids. I promise I will get that done, guys. And yeah, I gotta do a few checks. These are checks I do at least every couple weeks, just because, again, there's no tech monitoring this stuff. Everything's by feel, and like lately I've felt like I've had to pump the brake a little bit more than usual. There's no power brakes in this, there's no power steering. Everything is by your arm or body strength, so I'm the boost. Anyway, so let's get to it. Let's check a few things. Now, that's not to say I don't have gauges, of course. I have oil pressure, coolant temperature gauges, tachometer, so I know there's nothing like going wrong with any of that stuff, but I could tell when oil pressure starts dropping just a little bit that maybe I'm a little low on oil, and I think I might be. So we'll see. Coolant should be fine. But I gotta check my... Oh boy, here we go, noise. I gotta check my master cylinder, which is in a very convenient location on these rigs. That's right, it's right below the driver's floorboard. But first, we gotta sweep all that sand out of there. Because obviously, if your master cylinder is in the floor like this, and you're gonna open it up to the open air like I am about to, you can't have sand and dirt and crap all around it that could blow into the master cylinder if a breeze comes in. So that's just part of the deal with this rig. There she is. Do one more little sweep. And now pop this little guy off. So yeah, master cylinder is right down here. Pull out this nice big plug. And I need a flashlight. So sure enough, it did need some fluid. This system originally had a whole bunch of vent lines that tied into a venting system for the water to go through, like 4 feet of water. Excuse me. The truck to be able to forward 4 feet of water. Wow, Rich, talking too fast. And those systems are no longer in place because I don't have the original engine anymore. So while it's a pressurized little sealed master cylinder, a single chamber cylinder, by the way, it still manages to somehow go through fluid. Very slowly, but I'm sure it's because the old vent line systems somehow just allow some of it to squeak out somewhere. I don't know where, because I don't have leaks at the cylinders at the wheels, so we're all good. Gave it a little more. Now it's time to go on to other stuff. And yeah, I didn't show you me putting in the brake fluid because it's tricky to do, and I need to concentrate. So you just can't imagine what that looked like. All right, let's open her up. So hell is a unique rig, obviously. Very vintage, but not original at all in there anymore. Not where the engine and the transmission are concerned. Everything else is original. But yeah, a few things have been modified. A few. Not the least of which is the cooling system to accommodate a V8. In 2019, I put in a small block Chevy. So this is an aluminum performance radiator and an auxiliary cooling fan I can fire up. But yeah, we gotta check that coolant. This is pretty exciting stuff, huh? All right. Gotta look right down in there. Beauty. Beauty. No problema. We like to see that. Yeah. And like I said, this is not the original engine. The original engine was beautiful. I wish I could have beefed it up to be practical, horsepower-wise, but this is a Chevy 350. It's a crate motor that we put in. Paul and I, my mentor in Paulsville, we fabricated all the mounts together and made this happen. It's a really strong engine. It's worked great. No complaints. I've got like 60,000 miles on it now. She's strong as ever. Had to rebuild the carb a couple times and other things, as you know, but the engine itself is great. But oil, you got to keep track of the oil. Very important. And yeah, she's about a third of quart low, which is about what I was expecting. But the oil looks good. So, let's give her a little more. Don't you love all my beautiful original wiring? You know, some of that looks really frayed and rough, but it is super high quality copper, super thick. And I've replaced what's needed to be replaced. But where it's still working fine, I do not mess around with it. There you go, baby. That should get you up to the line. All right. Put her back together. PCV's nice and free. That is done. So as anybody who follows me knows, I had lots of trouble with this third member in 2023, and I finally replaced it in the fall of 24 with an original government surplus, never installed third member. And these weren't designed to do highway speed, so it's real typical that they start leaking a little. But it's no problem, you just had to keep up on it. So, since it's obviously super ridiculously important not to run out of gear oil in your rear axle or any axle, I make a point of checking this when I check oil and other stuff. Unless weather is really shitty, I don't get down here in the rain and crap, because I know nothing's like in trouble. I don't have any big leaks to be terrified about. I know I've got a seal leak in the left rear tire. I'm going to fix that up eventually. So I just got to make sure I'm not low. Nope, I got gear oil in there. One more little test. Oh yeah. He's good. He's a little leaky, but I don't need to add. This plug that came with this is really cool. It's got magnets. Don't know if you can see those. And when I first started running it, all kinds of metal shavings were coming off because obviously it had never been run, and that's real typical of a new ring and pinion in a differential setup. So yeah, we're good, people. We're good. Yeah, here's the custom auxiliary oil cooling setup for the transfer case. Really awesome stuff that's held up really well. Made by M-Series Rebuild. They modified the transfer case so that I could run highway speed with this system, and it works beautiful. The bracketry took a massive hit. You can see this bracket is bent way over when this drive shaft went kaboom on my way out of Burning Man in fall of 23. That was some drama on the road. I have a huge inspection list that I do every couple months. It's not time to do that yet. This was just my basic, you know, every other week little check that I just showed you. Nothing anybody shouldn't do with their vehicle, though I know with modern cars they're like appliances and you don't have to do it like I have to with Hella. But there you go. Quick, well, usually a lot quicker when I don't do video. And it actually really threw me off. I had to double check things after I put the camera down. It's like, oh man, it's so weird to video regular day-to-day stuff. At least for me it is, because I didn't grow up with this. Anyway, hope you enjoyed seeing the checks. Okey-dokey. No problema. Yeah, I've had a number of folks message me wanting to see more of what goes on with the rig. I get that. I thought I would, oh, where'd I put it? Oh, geez, look how well I know my truck. Here's what I was looking for to show you. This is the big checklist. This is the checklist I do every couple months. Usually as I grease the rig. So that checklist, I know a lot of guys would like me to video me doing that checklist. I might, but that check already takes like an hour and a half to do. Video makes it last twice as long, so we'll see. If y'all be good and if you ask nice, maybe I'll do that. Anyway, that's it for this week. Hope your new year is off to a great start. Thank you everybody who watches and supports me. Really, really appreciate you. Take care.